Shalom and welcome to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. This is Meditation and Mindfulness with Rabbi Adam Kligfeld.
Boker Tov to those who are joining on the Zoom. Boker Tov to those who are joining on Facebook Live and to those who are in person. And whatever time of day it is, to anyone who might be hearing this as part of the Temple Beth Am podcast, here we are, Friday morning in Los Angeles, an opportunity to grab some moments for ourselves, not in a selfish way, but in a self-caring way. Right? There's a difference. Selfish has the sense of you matter and no one else matters. Self-caring has a sense of you matter. You matter. Your well-being matters, and your well-being matters both to the people whom you care about, and because you're a better you when you take care of yourself, and you matter to your very essence. So we're going to claim these minutes because we need them and we deserve them, and we try to balance between being utilitarian, where there's something specific that we want out of this, because we do meditate in order for something to happen, but we want that expectation to be mild and amorphous so that it's not an expectation that leads to disappointment. We're not doing this for no reason. We're also not doing it for a specific end. This is not a prayer request for a particular enlightenment. It's one more step in the ongoing development of the self. And what I'm going to ask us to meditate on in a second is a very interesting line from Parshat Tazria, which is a challenging parsha, dealing with so many things that are hard for the modern person to wrap their minds around. And when someone has been deemed tameh, which we really incorrectly and inaptly translate in English as impure, it probably has to do more with a life-ebbing spiritual mode because of having come into contact with a corpse or a creepy crawly animal that you're not supposed to be in touch with, or because of some body dysfunction, whether it's blood or oozing. When a person has been diagnosed by the Kohen, because the spiritual practitioner in the Torah is the Kohen, not a doctor, it's interesting that that person has to go around the town and say of himself or herself, tameh, tameh. I am tameh, I am tameh. On the one level, this seems like it's an embarrassment or a shame, right? It's almost like someone is being forced to wear a scarlet letter. Look at me. I sinned, and I have to pronounce that publicly. But this is not necessarily in response to a sin. It's in response to a vulnerability. The vulnerability, if it was the disease of tzara'at, then we believe the rabbinic notion that you got tzara'at because you did lashon hara. There might have been a sin earlier on. But if you're bleeding, that's not a sin. If your body is not working as it's supposed to be, you might be tameh, but it's not a sin. And so I wonder also if this verse is representing an ancient way for a person who had to be isolated in order to heal and protect others. We know what that's like in a pandemic. Also was able to say to the community, tameh, tameh, I'm vulnerable. I'm in need. I'm in isolation. I'm not doing okay. I think our society would actually be doing better if more people were comfortable saying to those around them, I'm in need right now. And that's how I choose to read that verse. I don't know that that's the pshat of the verse. That's how I'm choosing to read it now. And I'm going to develop this a little bit more tonight in a drash. But that's too many words because I want to push this into a meditation. But that's going to be the source of the meditation. So I invite you all to close your eyes. And already feel the transformation that happens within seconds of your entering into a zone that is not sleep, it's not slumber, it's not sloth, but mindful rest. Closing your eyes not so that you will drift off into dream. Closing your eyes so that external stimuli are blocked, and you can be for these moments entirely, lovingly, comprehensively within you. It's amazing what that thin membrane called the eyelid can do to bring you back to self. As with every meditation, you will not find yourself in a perfectly sound, sealed room. There might be the sound of a voice in a different room, or a whir of a motor, or depending on where you're sitting, a chirp of a bird. You need not reject these sounds, but you can push them to the periphery of your consciousness so that they are not the ikar, the essence of this experience. And use the power of your mind to create a sphere of silence, almost visualize it. However you visualize silence, visualize it as a sphere with you inside. And there's a ring of ambient noise around that sphere, as you're protected from it. You're in a womb far away from it. If you're sitting on a chair or a couch, I invite you to have your feet flat against the floor in front of you, whether it's carpet or wood, but feel that point of contact. And if you're sitting in a more meditative position on the floor, cross-legged, just accept the connections between you and the earth underneath you, so that it is not accidental, but rather you've put a stake in the earth and say, here is where I claim home for these moments. You may have your hands flat on your legs in front of you, soft embrace of yourself with your palms down. Or you may want to have your palms up, open to the universe, open to this moment, a physical stance of acceptance. Repose in yourself. Repose in yourself. Find the rest and the calm and the serenity entirely within you. You are pluripotent. Just inside your mind, you have access to everything you need to find repose. There may be other parts of your day where you'll turn to others and ask for counsel and lean on them. For now, repose in yourself. You are a complete and sufficient receptacle of all that is needed in this moment. An ancient one might need to walk through the town and say, Tameh, Tameh. This is something essential about me, townspeople, that you need to know. I'm not ashamed. I'm vulnerable and I'm real and I'm wrong. I wonder, as we are closer to ourself than we have been since perhaps the last time we meditated, what is it about you that you want or need to shout to anyone listening. What truth, what reality of yours that may not be obvious do you need to share, expose to some or to many? We hold so much back. We protect, we close ranks. We do not share every intimacy with everyone. But are there some truths that we are choking to keep down? And it would be an unburdening to say to anyone present, Tameh, Tameh, this is part of me right now. This is who and where and what I am. To know me is on some level to know this. Tameh, Tameh. I share and I invite you in to know this of me. Trusting that you'll hold that knowledge gently and with care. And we hold this position and continue to breathe with intentionality and extend this moment of care, a care that we give to ourselves. When you're ready, you can open your eyes. Share the closing meditation blessing, which we'll recite together 3 times. And we say, may we and all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. May we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. May we and all beings have happiness and the causes of happiness. May we all be free of suffering and the causes of suffering. May we all experience true happiness that has no taint of suffering. And may we live in great equanimity, free from burdening attachment to loved ones and contempt for others, but rather with compassion for all. And I say to you all shalom and namaste and Shabbat shalom, and I hope to see you soon.
You have been listening to another in our series of podcasts from Temple Beth Am, a dynamic center for conservative Judaism in Los Angeles. If you enjoy these podcasts, we invite you to write a review on the Apple Podcast site or wherever you get your podcasts. For more information about Temple Beth Am Los Angeles, go to tbala.org.